Level 1, Pee-wee. You're 11 years old. You live in a neighborhood where the Crips control every block. You see the older guys on the corner. They wear blue. They have cash. They have respect. When they walk down the street, people move. Your mom works double shifts. Your dad left before you could remember his face. You're invisible at school. But those guys on the corner, they see you. You start hanging around. You don't ask to join. That's not how it works. You just exist. You run to the store to buy cigarettes. You carry messages between the older homies. You hold a package without asking what's inside. They call you a Pee-wee, a tiny gangster. Level 2, baby gangster, BG. You're 14 now. You've been around for 3 years. One night, the big homie pulls you aside. You ready to put into work? You nod. You've been waiting for this. The initiation is simple. You get jumped in. 6 members form a circle. You stand in the middle. The count starts. You have to survive 60 seconds of fists and kicks from every direction. 1. A fist hits your jaw. 5. A kick to your ribs. You fall. They keep swinging. 15. You taste blood. 30. Your vision blurs. 45. You can't feel your face. 60. It stops. A homie helps you up. He hugs you. Blood drips down your chin. You're a baby gangster now. A BG. You're part of the set. They give you a street name. Lil Snap. Baby Crip. Tiny Loke. That name is your identity now. Your government name doesn't matter anymore. You still make no money, but now you have a family. You have protection. You have a purpose. Level 3, soldier. You're 16. You've been jumped in for 2 years. Now you get your first real job. You're a soldier, a shooter. When the set needs muscle, you show up. A rival gang is selling on your block. You and 3 homies roll up at midnight. You handle it. The corner is yours again. A store owner refuses to pay protection. You walk in with a bat. You don't say much. You don't need to. He pays next week. You start moving product. Weed first, then the harder stuff. You stand on the corner for hours. Hand-to-hand sales. You make about $300 a week. That's more money than your mom makes in a month. You buy new Jordans. You buy a chain. You buy a gun. A cheap 380 that jams sometimes. You feel powerful, but the risk is real. If the police catch you with that work, you're going to juvenile hall. If a rival catches you slipping, you're going in the ground. You don't sleep well anymore. You keep the gun under your pillow. You watch every car that rolls past your window. This is the life now. No going back. Level 4, Lil Homie. You're 18. You survived 2 years as a soldier. You've been shot at 3 times. You've been arrested twice. You kept your mouth shut both times. The big homies notice. You're promoted to Lil Homie. You're not just a shooter anymore. You got soldiers working under you now. 3 or 4 younger kids who look up to you like you looked up to the big homies. You manage a corner. You decide who sells, when, and for how much. You collect the money at the end of the night. You take your cut, about $800 a week now, and kick the rest up to the OG. You're a manager. You don't have to stand in the rain slinging dime bags anymore. You got Pee-wees for that, but you're also responsible when things go wrong. If the police raid your corner, the OG looks at you. If a soldier gets robbed, it's your problem. If a rival set moves in, you handle it or you get replaced. You carry a better gun now, a Glock 19. It doesn't jam. You've put in enough work to earn respect, but respect paints a target on your back. The police know your face. Rival sets know your name. You're 18 years old and you feel 35. Level 5, big homie. You're 22. You've been in a set for 11 years. You've been to prison once, 18 months for distribution. You sat in that cell and never gave up a single name. When you got out, the set threw you a party. You proved yourself. Now you're a big homie. You're a leader. You control a territory, maybe 5 or 6 blocks. You have multiple corners running. You have soldiers, lil homies, and BGs all reporting to you. The money flows up. You collect from your little homies, take your cut, and kick it up to the OG. You're making about $3,000 a week now. You have a car, an apartment, a girl, a closet full of blue. Your job is management and discipline. When a soldier's skimming money, you deal with it. Sometimes that's a conversation. Sometimes that's a beating. sometimes that soldier disappears. You also handle politics. When another set wants to negotiate, they come to you. When there's beef between two soldiers, you settle it before it becomes a war. The police have a file with your name on it. Gang units knows your car. They pull you over once a month just to remind you they're watching. You can't leave the life. You know too much. You've done too much. The only way out is prison or death. Level 6. OG. Original Gangster. You're 28. You're ancient in gang years. Most of the guys you came up with are dead or doing life. But you're smart. You're careful. You're still here. You're an OG now. Original Gangster. You've been in a set since the beginning. At least, your beginning. You control an entire section of the city. Multiple big homies report to you. You oversee hundreds of soldiers across a dozen blocks. You don't touch the product anymore. You don't carry a gun. You have people for that. The money is serious now. You're pulling $10,000 to $15,000 a week. You've learned to clean it. You opened a barbershop, a car wash, a clothing store. The money flows through those businesses and comes out legal. To your neighbors, you're just a successful businessman who made it out. They don't know you never left. You hold meetings in the back of the barbershop. The big homies come to you with problems. You make decisions. Your word is law, but you're also a target. Every ambitious big homie wants your spot. Every rival set wants you gone. The feds are building a RICO case with your name at the top. You haven't relaxed in years. You check your mirrors constantly. You never sit with your back to the door. You trust no one completely. This is the price of power. Level 7. Shot Caller. You're 32. You got arrested. The feds finally built their case. RICO. Conspiracy. You're looking at 25 years. You're gonna die in prison. But here's the thing. Prison is where real power lives. You're sent to a federal penitentiary. Within a week, you've connected with every crip inside. There are dozens. They run the yard. You become a shot caller. You're one of the leaders inside. You control what happens in your cell block. You decide who gets protection and who gets dealt with. You settle disputes. You enforce the rules. The prison has its own economy. Drug flows in through corrupt guards, phones come through drones, money moves through commissary accounts. You tax everything. You also communicate with the streets. Your girl visits twice a month. She brings news. She takes your orders back. You're in a cage, but you still have power. A guy on the streets is snitching on your set. You make a phone call. 3 days later, he's handled. A rival gang member gets transferred to your prison. You give the order. He doesn't make it through the week. Prison is your kingdom now. You have respect. You have authority. The only thing you don't have is freedom. But freedom's overrated when you're running things from the inside. Level 8. OOG. Original Gangster. You're 40. You've been in a set for nearly 30 years. You survived everything. Wars, prison, betrayal, bullets. You're still here. You're an OOG now. Original Gangster. A founding member. A legend. Young homies know your name even though they've never met you. The stories about you have become mythology. Half of them aren't even true anymore, but the reputation is real. You don't run day-to-day operations. That's for the younger OGs. You're a consultant now, an advisor. When there's a major decision, a war, a truce, a business expansion, they come to you. Your word carries weight that money can't buy. If you say someone's solid, they're solid. If you say someone needs to go, they're gone. You've made your money. You live quietly now. A house in a decent neighborhood. A legitimate business that actually runs clean. Grandkids who don't know what you did to build this life, but you can never fully retire. The set is in your blood. When a big homie calls at 2 a.m. with the problem, you answer. When the feds come sniffing around, you know how to handle it. You've outlived everyone from your generation. Sometimes that feels like a victory. Sometimes it feels like a curse. Level 9. The streets remember. You're 50 years old. You've been in life for nearly 40 years. You sit on your porch and watch the new generation. They're younger than your grandkids. They wear the same blue. They bang the same set. They think they invented this. They don't know who built the corners they stand on. They don't know about the wars you fought, the bodies you buried, the years you spent in cages. They just know the name, the legend. A young homie walks by. He throws up the set. You nod back. He keeps walking. He has no idea who you are. That's fine. You don't need recognition anymore. You've lost count of the funerals. Friends, soldiers, enemies, they all blur together after a while. You've seen generations rise and fall. You've watched the set evolve from a neighborhood crew to a nationwide movement. And what do you have to show for it? A house, some money, scars that ache when it rains, memories that keep you awake at night. Your son didn't join the life. You made sure. Beat it out of him when he was 14 and tried to hang with the homies. He hated you for years. Now he thanks you. Your grandson asks about the tattoos on your arm. You tell him they're mistakes. He doesn't need to know the truth. There's no retirement. There's no walking away. You're a Crip until you die. Blood in, blood out. You look at the corner where you first stood 40 years ago. There's a new Pee-wee there now. He's 11 years old. He's watching. He's hungry. You see yourself in him. And the cycle continues.